Hello and welcome along to Mondo Channel about movies. My name is John and this vid. So as you know, last week I was on holiday and I went across to Edinburgh, which was brilliant. I went to the brilliant Fopp shop, which I highly recommend to anybody who's into physical media to get yourself over there. And also I've done a video of that, so that'll be, leave a link down below to that video. And also last week I did go on Jordan's channel, Movie Worm. He invited me on to do a live stream with him, which I had a great time with. So I'll put that one down there in case you missed it. So check that one out and please check Jordan's channel out as well. So I'll show you what I've bought in the week, after Fopp. So I had picked up some good stuff. So first I'm going to talk about this one here, To Kill with Intrigue. I got the tag taken off in HMV. Actually, I just went in and showed the fella me receipt, and he's took it off, no problem. And yeah, it's an absolutely, as they all are from 88 Films, the Jackie Chan movies. It is a stunning release, and you get art cards with it as well. You also get a brilliant reversible art cover, which you do get on these ones all the time, and also the slip cover as well. So for £10 you cannot argue with that. So I was so glad to get that finally opened, and the picture quality on it is absolutely stunning. So yes, so next we went around to Newcastle and I went to CEX and I found this one for £5, which is a movie that we wanted to see because we were going to go and see the sequel at the cinema, but sadly there's no showing us of it apart from tonight, which is this Sunday. What's happening tonight? Well, England are going to play Italy in the final. Fingers crossed for that. So anyway, we will probably not get to see the sequel in the cinema, so we bought this on Blu Ray. I was going to get it on 4K. I'm glad I didn't get it on 4K actually, because to be honest, the film's good. I did enjoy it, and but I don't. This actually, the quality in here is really good. So I'm wondering if this is one that was it's just okay on, but it's just okay on Blu-ray. It doesn't really need a 4K upgrade unless you see it really cheap. But it's a pretty decent film. I must admit we had a good time with it. But yeah, it's I would have liked to see the sequel in the cinemas, but well, we're going to miss out on that one. Next, in CEX, I found this, which is, you don't usually see this one at all. It's one of the Hammer ones that I've been after for a long time. Of course, when you want it, you can't see it. You can't see it at a sensible price. This was £10 in CEX, but usually these ones hold the prices, especially the Hammer films, and it is Kiss of the Vampire. Now, I'm not too sure if I've actually seen this one, although it rings a bell, although there's a lot of Hammer films that sound exactly the same. The titles are very similar, and also this Kiss of the Vampire is probably a generic title for probably a lot of vampire films actually. It sounds very, you would have heard this one 1,000 times before. And I've checked it out actually, and the picture quality in here is quite good. It's on Final Cut, who usually do a pretty decent job with the Blu-rays in the Hammer series, although I do prefer the Studio Canal Hammer series. And I'm going to get some American ones, are now getting to be like the best versions, so I'm going to start importing a few of them because I've got a bit behind on my Hammer collection and I want to speed that up. So to get a few more, there's a few classic ones out that I haven't got yet, and I used to think that they would probably come into a sale somewhere, but for some reason Hammer films do not go into sales very much, well, not anymore anyway. So yes, Kiss of the Vampire, I think it's around 1960 something, 1964 I'm going to say. Now next I went across to HMV and I looked at the sale of the two for £15 on their Premium Collection series, and I had a few things in mind that I wanted to get, and I was sort of swapping ones that I want and ones I put back. The ones I picked up on this visit were, and this one was got purely on the fact of Conrad Veidt being in it, as well as Humphrey Bogart, and it is the classic Casablanca. Now this has got a massive booklet in here as well, which is, it's absolutely brilliant booklet, and for £7.50 you cannot argue with that. Now I've seen this film quite a few times. I do know the story of it inside out. So after Lauren from Lauren's collection, linked down below, she gave me on a subscriber mail In a Lonely Place, which is a Humphrey Bogart classic actually, one of the highest rated ones on Internet Movie Database actually. I thought, right, I wanted to get this one anyway, but the fact it's got Conrad Veidt in it, who is one of my favourite actors at the moment, and he acts in these amazing seminal silent movies, I thought this has got to be a no-brainer. And also it says, I thought the picture quality would be average on here for some reason, I don't know why, but on the back it says a 4K restoration, and I tell you what, when you look at it, this picture quality here is absolutely stunning. So if you're ever in the mindset to get Casablanca, if you can get it on this version, you'll be really impressed by it. So what did I get to go with that for the 2 for 15? And there was a few ones that I fancied, but this was the one that was like probably high on my list. I didn't get it the last time I was in. It is the Treasure of the Sierra Madre. Now this actually, the Casablanca is spine number 48 from 1942. And this one is spine number 62 from 1948. And I remember seeing this in the TV, and I do think this was a film I was really after actually. And when I saw it in the premium collection, I thought, yes, I've got to get this. I was going to get it the other week, but I didn't. And I think it has, as far as I know, I remember it's these sort of people that go in this group and they go for this treasure, and I think they might actually get the treasure, and then the sort of paranoia kicks in about, you know, how they're going to split this up, and somebody wants more for it than the other one does, and if we get rid of one of these, then we've got more for ourselves. So I think the vast majority of the movie that I remember is them sort of arguing about the cut of this treasure. So very interested to see this, and also the picture quality here, it's not as good as Casablanca, but it's still quite good as well. And Humphrey Bogart is becoming a man that I used to watch a lot of, but forgot all about really, and now I'm starting to get a lot of more into his stuff, and he's quite a really good actor as well. Even though I thought he was a bit of a one-trick pony by going into gangster movies, but he's not really. So next, as I'm looking on the shelves, there's always, this film has always looked at me, and you know, with a thing to say buy me, and I thought, well, do I really want it? Do I really need it? Do I really like this film? But the fact that I picked this up maybe 100 times, 100's exaggerating, the fact that I picked this up a lot made me think, well, I've got to get this. And I had the money, so I thought, well, why not? So the film I picked up that I've been looking at for a long time, and I might not even like this one, is Strangers, or The Strangers. Never seen it, heard a lot of good things about it. This is this amazing package from Second Sight. I think a lot of people have seen unboxings of this, and I actually thought this was going to go down a little bit price. It was about £22, and I thought this would be, because it seemed to be in the shop all the time, so will it ever go down in price? Well, it hasn't done. And also it's a special edition, and I thought, well, if it ever came out in the sort of standard edition, I'd probably buy that one. But anyway, I got this one because sometimes you go around the shelves and some titles just keep staring at you, you know, buy me. As RoboCop has been doing, because that's come down to £15 again. And in Fopp, it was wrapped in this sort of really good plastic sort of slipcase thing that they had. And I thought, wow, it made you even want to get it even more. But the thing, I keep saying to myself, there's no reason for me to get that movie. I've got a version of it, and the version I've got is really good. And also, I do think that it's going to come out in 4K soon, because it's 4K on Sky Movies, and it looks absolutely brilliant. So for me, it's got to be on 4K soon, I would imagine. So yes, The Strangers. Excited to see this, I would imagine. But then again, will I like it? It remains to be seen. But it had buy me all over it for some reason. Then on a separate day, we went across to CEX in the Merit Centre, and I bought this one. Actually, I bought this one from the CEX in North Shields, and it is Schlock. Now, this is very early, or maybe the first film ever from John Landis, and I think it's from 1973. And I've put a bit of it on, even though it said it's a 4K restoration, which is a really strange thing to have on this movie, because it seems very low budget. But it does seem quite amusing. I don't know, it didn't, you know, when you flick through a movie and sort of get a bit of a vibe from it, I didn't get any vibes from it other than being just a bit nuts. I love the thing in the front when it says, due to the horrifying nature of this picture, absolutely no one will be admitted. Wow. So yeah, but happy to pick this up from CEX. You get a reversible art on it as well. The reversible art, or maybe it's the proper cover, I don't really care for, if I'm honest. I do prefer this other cover, which is probably a reversible art, or maybe the original one. I do like the early John Landis films, especially the film that came out more or less after this, called Kentucky Fried Movie, which is, I went to see it at the cinema quite a few times. I loved it, and I'm interested to see this one. It's always been on my radar to get, and as soon as you see these ones in CEX cheap, especially with the booklets in and in good nick, I thought, yeah, no brainer. So then we went across to the Merit Centre, and at the Merit Centre I saw my good friend Stephen Monkey Mason from Lonely Tree Entertainment. I'll leave a link down to his channel down below. Now, he's asked me to provide him a clip of myself for a forthcoming video that he's working on. And this video sounds like a really good, interesting premise behind it. And I know with Stephen's amazing sort of, I'm going to say back sort of catalogue of ideas that he's got, or footage that he's got from other things, he's going to bring this one together, and it's going to be a really exciting video. So what will happen is, when that drops, which I think is going to be in the next week or two, I will be on the next forthcoming video, I will put a link down to it and tell you and point you across to this video. I'm not going to say too much about it, because I wanted to be a bit of a surprise for you, because when he got in touch with me and asked me to do this certain clip, I thought, well, yeah, that's good. And then we talked about it more at the HMV when we met up, and had a good chat. It's always good to speak to Stephen, and he does tell you about some interesting facts to do with things or movies that you're picking up, and say, well, that's this or this is that. So he points you in the right direction to a few things, and you know, this is what it's all about actually when you go to a shop. And it's great to have somebody who's knowledgeable in the shop that they're in. If you go to a car shop and somebody says, well, there's cars over there, but I haven't got a clue what they're all about, you would expect that in HMV. If you went in, or CEX, and say, look, about this, about that, and they say, I haven't got a clue, you think, wow, that's not really the right way to go on. But never mind. So Stephen is going to put my video clip is going to be in one of his forthcoming videos, and I'll leave a link down to it when it gets made. And I do urge you to check out his channel as well. But I'll leave a link down to his channel anyway. But this video, I'll point you to it when it comes out. Okay, so what did I get in the Merritt Centre? For $7.99, I got this one, White Fire. Now, I never really thought about this one at all. I didn't know anything about it, but as soon as I saw Robert Ginty and Fred Williamson from it. Robert Ginty is from The Exterminator, and Fred Williamson is from the Vigilante. And I thought, yep, I'm going to get that on the strength of that. And it's a special edition, and like I say, it's a lovely slipcover, $7.99. You can't go wrong with that. So here's the other cover. You do get your booklet in there and your disc, and you also get the fact that this is I think this is quite one of these 80s exploitation movies, and I do love these sort of you know, these like Exterminator type films. I do like him in most of the films I've seen him in of this ilk. And so yes, so Exterminator 2 as well, that was a brilliant movie. So yes, so White Fire, now I know a little bit about it, I thought, yep, I'm definitely going to get that one. Next up, I got, probably on the week of release, for $19.99, which is a great price, I got Scott Pilgrim versus the World on 4K. Now, I thought myself, this is brilliant. I love this film. I think it's absolutely amazing. I think that everything about it is something that I really enjoy, about the fact of it being like about computer games, and it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek, and it's got amazing editing, and it's just Edgar Wright's involved, obviously. So that makes it a complete winner for me. But I put this on and I just scanned it just to see, well, what is it like? Because I want to get a little bit of an idea of the quality of it before I actually watched it. And I must admit, and this is only me just doing this on a bit of a brief flick through this film, I didn't think it looked that good. Now, I didn't think it looked okay. I mean, the picture was sharp, the colours were nice, but I put the Blu Ray on from here, which is, it's got the same disc as the one in the original Blu Ray. So that makes me think, is this being like a remaster in the Scott Pilgrim disc? And the Blu Ray looked more or less exactly the same. I'm really, you know, don't really want to say that, but I've got to speak the truth. Now, I'm going to go back to it and watch the film. Of course I will watch the whole thing, and I'm going to reassess that. But on first impressions of this, it doesn't seem as if it's a massive uptick, even if it's an uptick at all from the Blu-ray. And the Blu-ray looks quite nice. But I broke a golden rule that I have. I usually always find out and have an idea of the picture quality to think what this movie is going to be like. Because it could be the best ever movie and it just gets released on a bit of a lazy release, and you think, well, what was the point? And then I don't go near it. Now this one here seems to be suffering from that. Now I could be wrong, but it's just my initial impression that this movie does not really have a good uptick on 4K. I will keep the 4K and get rid of the Blu-ray. It's got a lovely slipcover. But is it worth the uptick at this moment? I don't think it is, but I'll have to reassess that. So that being said, it was a bit of a disappointment. In fact, it's one of the only ones I've put in the disc and thought, am I watching the Blu-ray here? Have I picked the wrong disc out? And also as well, like I say, I broke my golden rule, which is I do a bit of research before I go anywhere near a 4K title, because it doesn't mean to say that it's a brand new one or it looks good, that it is being done well. This one might be one of those ones that wasn't really, not saying not done well, it's just a bit of a lazy, but I do know that it's got a Dolby Atmos track, which the DVD didn't have, which is a step up as well. So initial thoughts, I don't know, I'm not too sure about this one. That being said, I did go and get some more 4Ks, and the first one that I got in the 2 for 30 sale is one I've been after for quite a while, and is War of the Worlds. Now I flicked this on and it does look really good. Now when you put a movie on, I haven't seen the Blu-ray of this one, in fact I haven't seen the movie at all, and when you put a 4K on, you expect to see, well, that looks nice, you know, the people's faces, you look for the faces, you look for daytime shots, you look for dark shots, and it ticks all the boxes for me, and you've got that really good depth of what people look like, and you know, on the faces and the skin colors and the skin tones and the sort of hair and fabric on the clothes. It's ticking all the boxes for that. So yes, so that's another thing, and I did check this one out before. That's another one that I've been looking at or heard good things about, and then if you do that, then you know you aren't a winner. So I had to wait for something else to come up in the 2 for 30 sale, and what did I pick with it? Well, I picked this one, and this is purely on the strength of somebody's advice, and it's Keith from Euphoria Pictures, link down below. And he said to go and get this. He said that he thought this film was absolutely amazing on one of his reviews, so I thought, yep, it's on my list. So as soon as I knew I was getting that one, I scanned along the shelves and found this one, Pacific Rim. Now, something quite interesting with this one, I'll tell you about that in a minute. I did flick this one and I thought this is just, it would look absolutely stunning. The facial and the features on the people's faces was absolutely breathtaking actually. And Keith's quite right when it talks about the sort of sound, the actual, even the CGI looks absolutely brilliant as well. So this one does look stunning. It's one of them 4K upgrades that you think, wow. And I have got the Blu-ray of it, and it does look better on the 4K. Now, an interesting thing here, and I haven't looked into this yet, so I don't know if I'm speaking, you know, rubbish or anything. So you've got your 4K there, and you've also got your Blu-ray. So the Blu-ray says movie, okay? So you think, right? And when you get your Blu-ray, you say, well, what's this got in it? And it's got your movie there, but it's also got a disc here that says special features. Now, I'm wondering, because this looks exactly the same disc as the Blu-ray in there, is this special features disc on here a disc that has stuff on that isn't featured on this disc? It might have or it might not have. I'll have to look in to see what exactly the special features are on this movie, because if they are ones that aren't duplicated on here and they've been kind of left on that disc for some reason, I will keep that disc as well. If not, I can get rid of that disc. So anyway, but this one is highly recommended. The HDR in here is absolutely stunning, as you would imagine. Now that's a 4K done right. And the last thing, what we did after that was I went across the CEX and had a bit of a mooch through there, and I picked up this, and I remember my wife's face when I came out with it, and she says, what on earth have you done that for? And I says, well, when we watched one of these movies the other day, did you enjoy it? She says, yeah, I did. I said, well, there you go. So that's why I got the Muppets 6 movie collection. So this features Muppets Most Wanted, which is a brilliant film, that. And then it features The Great Muppet Caper, The Muppet Treasure Island, and The Muppet Christmas Carol. And I've seen them films about a long time ago. Then you've got the movie The Muppets, which I'm interested in seeing. I wanted to see that one anyway. I couldn't find it anywhere actually singly. And the Muppet movie from 1980, I think that was the first one that they did. It's got the great clip of Kermit singing Rainbow Connection. I think it's called Rainbow Connection. So yeah, so that's the last thing I got in the sort of weekly haul. So like I say, I've been off on holiday this week and we've been busy in the garden, and I'm going to now go back in the garden. We're going to try and finish this shed off. So next week, or this week, when I'm filming this on this is on the Sunday, it's going to get released on the Monday. I'm going to get myself back in my regular releasing, which is going to be 2 to 3 a week, as last week was a little bit sporadic, because obviously I've been out and about that much that I've never had time to record any videos. So thanks for watching, you take care, and I will see you on the next video. Cheers. Muppets.